Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today I will show you how you can make an inventory. And for everyone's sake, I am not using any fancy items or UI from any other assets. I am using all the components that you can find in Unity as standard, so everyone can follow the tutorial. What I'll be showing here is how you can create the items. Here I have 3 red cubes, that will be health potions, and I have 2 blues, and this is mana potions. You can walk into these, you can see they are added to the inventory, they will stack. In this case I have made the stack maximum stack to 2, so if I take number 3 it will go to the next slot. And here we have the mana pots, and if you drop them they will be dropped in the scene, and it is possible, of course, to pick them up again. So what I have in my game here is my player, that is the capsule. What you will need to have on him is a collider and a rigid body. And then I have a ground plane with a mesh collider on it. Let's start setting up the UI. So let's create a UI image, and let's start setting the canvas to scale with screen size 920 like 1080. This is what I normally use. Let's take this image and let me zoom out a bit here. Let's place the let's change my game view like this. 2D, you can do it up here. This will be our background for the inventory. So let's lock it down to the right corner and move it up a bit. So this will fit my game here like this, 400 times 500. Underneath the background, we will create the first slot. So the first slot, it will be a UI image as well. Let's change the color to a little gray. Move it up a bit. Rename this to slot 1. If you use 1 and parentheses like this, it will automatically give it the next number. So if you duplicate this one, it will be number 2 and 3 and so on. If you only say slot 1, then it will not go to slot 2, 3 and 4. This is just a little bonus tip. Let's create another one underneath. Just move it over here. On the background, we'll need a grid layout group, and this is so we can control the slots. So let's do something like this. Let's take space. I will do so we have 3, so let's take one more, and the spacing 30. Yeah, let's do so we can have 12. Like this. And then the spacing the other way. Let's make it 20. Just my case. Like this. So let's delete all the other ones again. So we only have 1. We will make it a prefab later, and then all of them will be the same. On that slot, we'll need a text, a UI text mesh row, and this will be the amount. Let's make it black. Let's say just set it to 5 here, and let's place it down in the corner here. That is the amount of items you have. And then you will need a UI button, and this will be the drop button. So when you have to or want to drop the item, like it 3030, that's the text. Just make an X so it looks like a drop button, and let's make it red for this, and move it up here in the right corner like this. Yeah, then take the slot and let's create a folder here and call it prefabs, and take the slot and move it to the prefab folder. So now when we duplicate this, we will have a slot for all of them, and it's the same. So again, yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it like this. So now take the amount and just set it to 0 because we don't have any. And remember, when you change something, press your slot prefab, and up here where it says override, apply all, then it will affect all of them. Now let's create a, let's close it down here. The background here, we can actually call that inventory instead. Let's create a empty object, zero this out. We can call this controllers. Underneath this one, create an empty one, and this will, we will call inventory controller. Now let's create a new folder, call it scripts. Oops. Let me rename it like this, scripts. And inside here, let's create a new C# script and call it inventory controller, and open it up in Visual Studio. Now let's remove, start an update. We will add two functions, so public bool, and this will be is full. So this will check if the slot is full or not. And then we need a public game object array, and this will be slots. That's everything that we will need in here. So let's head back to Unity. Add the inventory controller to the inventory controller. And here we have two lists now. And then open up your inventory. We need to add all the slots that we have. So if you choose the inventory controller, lock it up here. Now you can choose all your 12 slots, and you can drag them to the array. We have 12 slots, and here we will need 12 booleans. Now let's create something that we can pick up. Now we have the control over the if it's full and all the slots. Let's head back to 3D, go to your player. Now let's create a 3D. I will use a cube, and let's just drag it down. Let's move it a little bit ahead here. Remember to unlock the controller again. This one we can call health globe. Let's just fast duplicate or make a new material like this. Call it health. drag it on the health globe. This. And let's make it red. That. And what else do we need on that? We need the box collider, and the box collider needs to be triggered. And the mesh render, and that's actually all we need for that right now. Let's duplicate this one, move it to the right. This one I will call mana globe. I will only make 2 different items in this tutorial. Let's duplicate the health here, rename it to mana, make it blue, and put it on here. So now we have 2 items here. Now let's make a new script and call it pickup. And add the script to your 2 items. I will highlight both and then I drag it over here. Now go to your prefab folder and drag these to the prefab. So we have a health globe prefab and we have a mana globe prefab, like that. Now open up your inventory again, choose slot 1. On here, right click, make another UI image, like this. Let me head back to 2D and go to the image. This will be the icon for your health globe or mana globe or whatever item you have. Let's make this 50 times 50. Let's make this red because this is my health globe. This I will call health globe button. Oh, health globe button. Add a button component to it. Then we will create a new C# script called the spawn. The script that we have added, we will get to that in a moment. So on this one, add the spawn script. And now take this and drag it to your prefab folder. So we have the health globe button. We need another one for the mana globe. The mana globe, sorry. So a fast way to do it is just to right click, prefab, unpack. Now you can rename it to mana globe and make this blue. And everything should be the same. So now drag this to the prefab folder and just delete it from the slot afterwards. So now we have done that. Let's open up on the health globe. Here, let's open up the pickup script and let's see if we can pick it up. So what we will need here, first we will need to get a reference to our inventory. So private inventory controller, and we will call it inventory. Then we need a reference to our item button. And the item button is the one we just made, called the mana button and health globe button. And then we need a public string for the name of the item that we are picking up. So here in start function, we will say inventory equal to find object of type, and here we will look for the inventory controller. After that, we will delete the update function, no need for that. And then we'll make a onTrigger enter, and we will keep it as other. Now let's say if other dot compare tag is player. So if we are hitting the player, then we need to check all the slots. So let's make a for loop for that. If you write for and hit tab 2 times, and here we need to go through the inventory dot slots dot length, and what is the first thing that we need to check? Because we are implementing what to say, so you can stack items as well. So first we need to check if the inventory is full. So if the inventory dot is full, and the I is the one that we are on. So if this is true, and why can I hit it? And inventory dot slots I dot transform dot get component, and here we will look for the slots. We haven't created that yet, so let's save this. Let's create that first. Let's mark this off, save it again, head back to Unity. Now let's create the slot script. Add this to all the slots. Again, remember it's prefab, so you can just pick the first one and drag the slot script to it. Press the all right up here, apply to all, and now all of them will have the slot script. So let's open up this slot script. We just need to add some information in here first. And here we need first of all to add the reference to the inventory as well. So let's say private inventory controller, call it inventory. We need a public integer I, and we need a public text mesh. I'm using TextMesh Pro, and here we need to implement the TM Pro. So public text come on, text mesh. I'm hitting the wrong button. Text mesh Pro UI here, and this will be the amount text that we have on the slot, and then we need a public integer called amount. In the start function, we need the same as in the other script. The inventory is equal to find object of type, and here we need to find the inventory controller like this, and then we need to, in the update, we can say what should we do first? we need to say that if our transform dot child count is equal to 2, then the inventory dot is full I is equal to false. So what this says is, if we have these two underneath the slot is false, so it's empty, because later on when we pick up items, it will be stored underneath this one, so there will be 3 in here. And when we drop it again, there will only be these 2, so it's false. So if we only have these 2, if you have added more here, you can of course increase this number or decrease it if you have added it another way. So let's save this and let's add this amount text. So the amount text dot text is equal to the amount dot toString. So, and that should be it for now. Now let's hit back to the pickup, and now we can get the slot here. And when we have the amount is greater than 2, so this is the stack amount. So if you want your stacks to be 5, you need to say it here, or 20, or whatever you want. For this video, I only make it 2. So, and in here we need to say if this item name, did I not? Oh, I made a mistake item. So if the item name is equal to the inventory dot slots I dot transform dot get component dot spawn dot item name, and we have not created that yet, so let's save this and open up the spawn script. In the spawn script, let's add the public string for the item name, like this. Let's make it with the lower here. That's everything we need in here right now, so just save that and hit back to the pickup. Remove this again. Like this. And here we can search for the item name now. So if the name on this item that we are picking up is the same as the one we have on that slot in the inventory, then we can keep the item, or it needs to stack. So this is the stack. We need to destroy the object that we hit. That is the game object that we are walking, or this game object, the pickup. And then we need to say inventory dot slots I dot get components, and here we need to get the slot again, and we need to increase the amount on that slot with 1, like that. And then we need to break. So if it is stackable, then it will stop here and it will not go further. But if it is not stackable, then we can say else if inventory dot is full I is equal to false, then inventory dot is for no, is full, sorry. Is equal to true. So now there is something in the inventory. And then we need to instantiate item button. And this is the buttons that we were creating on the slots before. We need to instantiate them on the inventory dot slot dot transform, and because we are in the world space, we will set this to false. Then inventory dot slots, we of course need to increase the amount as well here. So the slot dot amount plus equal 1, and then we need to destroy the game object, and we can break here as well. So this is actually everything we need for the pickup. So let's save this, hit back to Unity. Remember to tag your player as a player. Let's choose the slot. On the slot we need the amount, text, sorry. And then we need the I index. And the I index is starting from 0. So all the slots need to have a separate index. So first, because it's a prefab, you will change all of them. So here, now you have added the text, so we can override it like this. Now all of them have the correct text. And now the slots is 0. The next one will be 1. Now we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, and on the health items that we have here we need to add the buttons. The name we can add as well. So this will be the health globe, and this will be the mana globe. The item button, go to your prefab folder, and here we will have the what was this one? This was the mana globe, so we will have the mana globe button. On the health globe, we will have the health globe button, like this. So now when we have the health globe here and we have the mana globe, remember on the pickup, add the mana globe button that we made as a prefab and the health globe as well. The item name, rename it as health globe and the other one as mana globe. On the button you have, on the spawn script, the item name has to be the same. So the health button need the same name as the health globe, and the same for the mana globe and for the mana button here. A little mistake that I found: if you open up the pickup script, instead of get component here, we need to say get component in children. This one instead. Now save again and hit back. So now if we hit play, let me take my player here and drag him into the red one. We got one, and take the blue one and we got another one. Let's try to duplicate the health globe. Move it over here. Let's take the mana over here. take another health over here, and let's hit play. And here you could see that I made my stack limit at 2. If I take my player, move it into this one, I got 1, got 2, and now it jumped to the next field or the next slot because I can't have more than 2. We got 1 here and another 1 here. So now let's drop the items again. So let's stop this. Open up the slot script. On the slot script, we can, let's enable the text as well, because if we have 0 amount of or 1 amount, then there shouldn't be any text or amount text. And we can do that by saying if the amount is less than 1, then we need transform dot get child 1. And the reason why I'm saying 1 here is because if you see the slot here, the amount is child number 1. And then we will get the component text mesh pro, and this one we will enable equal true, else, and we can just copy the line up here. We will set it to false. So now the text will only be there if we have more than 1. Now let's make a new function for the drop. So let's say public void drop item. If the amount is greater than 1, then amount, let's say like this, minus equal 1, and then yeah, let me see, there will minus 1, and this is if we have 2, then we have, if it's greater than 1, that's because if it let me say if it is stacked, else we will have to say amount minus equal 1, and we need game object dot destroy. What do we want to destroy? The transform dot get component in children, and here we are looking for the script or the object with the spawn object on, and that game object we will destroy. So let's save this and head back. And hit play. So let's see if we take the player and let's, oh, wrong one, like here, and pick them up. And no, of course, on the drop button, we need to call the function. So choose the drop button, make an on-click event here, take the slot, drag it down, take the slot, and make drop item. We need to do that for all of them the fast way, if we have already done it for the first one here. So we can actually choose slot, go to override, and apply all. The only bad thing about this is now all the IDs actually stayed there. Oh, I thought they would change. Okay, then we all good. So hit play. Take the player, move it into these. Now let's try to drop them. Yep, now we could drop it, and if it's the last one, it will destroy. And it will destroy. Good. I just saw that the text was not disappearing, so let's open up the slot script again. And it's because it's of course a 0 here. So it's the 0 index again, so it's 0 here and 1. So it depends where you have your amount on the slot. So let's save and hit back again. Let's compile. So now let's hit play and see if all the text should be gone now when we hit play. Yeah, all of them are gone. So if we get more than 1, the text will get there. And when we drop them, it goes down and remove. So the last thing that we will need to add is of course to spawn the object here in the scene, because now it's deleted and yeah, you can't see it anymore. So let's open up the spawn script. And on the spawn script, we need a reference to the item that we want to spawn. So public game object, and this is the item prefab. Then we need a private transform for our player. And then we have the item name. And in the start function, we will have to say player is equal to game object dot find game object with tag, and here we need to find the player dot transform. It's the transform that we are after. And we can delete the update function and just make a public void called spawn dropped item. And here we will need a vector3. We will call player position, and it's equal to a new vector3 player dot position dot rips dot x on x, the player dot position dot y, and we need the player dot position dot z. And in this here we need an offset, because if we drop it here, it will be on top of our player, and because it's a trigger, so when you drop it, you will just pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up all the time. So we need to make an offset, and here we will say let's make it +4, like that. And then we will instantiate that item prefab, and we will instantiate at the player position, and we'll use actronium.identity to make it in the right rotation, like this. Yeah, save it, hit back to Unity. Let's open up the slot script, and here we need to do it when we drop the item. So here, if it is stacked, we need to say transform dot get component in children. Here we need to get the spawn script, and here we need to spawn dropped item. Let's copy this and move it below here, save this and hit back. So now we should be able to drop it. And what we just did on the spawn script, it's the one we had. If you take the prefab, we have the health button here. Sorry, the health globe button here, the spawn here. We had the item prefab. We of course need to add that. So the prefab that we need to spawn in the scene for the health globe, we need the health globe, and for the mana globe we of course need the mana globe. So let's hit the play button and see, hopefully the magic is here. So play. Let's pick up all these nice items and let's spawn them again when we drop them. Let's spawn this one and we can pick them up again. Should be able to pick them up. This one we could. Nope. What did we do? What did we do? Why can't we pick them up? Did I write something wrong here? The health globe. Just a second. Sorry for that. On the buttons here, we need to reference both of them. So on the button, we need the mana globe and the mana globe name. But on the item, we also need the right name, and here we need that item button. And the same for the health globe. We have the item prefab, and on the prefab, we also need to find the globe. So remember, the name has to be the same. So if you need to add some new items to the game, you simply just take these two, the health globe and the health globe button, duplicate these two, make a new item, remember the names here and reference these two to each other, and then you've got a new item for the game. So let's hit play. Now let's walk into them. Let's drop this one. Let's walk a little to the right. Let's drop the blue one. Now let's pick up the red one and pick up the blue one. And drop it like this. So now you have an inventory. So that was what I had to show in this tutorial. Thanks a lot for watching. I really hope that this would be useful for you. And remember, if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you and see you next time.